Welcome back to the Vikings Central podcast. It's the Vikings Central postgame show. We're just watching the final seconds kind of tick away. Vikings at Detroit, and we're in the best formation ever, the victory formation. Taking the kneels is J.J. McCarthy in his first game back. And looks like the Vikings are going to get this win 27-24 in Detroit. I couldn't be more happy. Mark, what are you feeling right now, bud?
Shock, absolute shock. This is kind of what I talked about last night when I said this team had to come out and play with passion, and they absolutely did on both sides of the ball. JJ doesn't lose in Michigan apparently.
I'm pumped, undefeated. Oh my gosh, yeah, he stays undefeated in Michigan. That's great. But hey, you and I, Mark, were both wrong in this prediction. And, we had a lot of things that just weren't going our way going into this game, whether it be health, whether it be turnovers, whether it be, hey, trouble stopping the run, protecting the quarterback, getting the run going. And man, did we really just get healthy and put together a good showing against a really good Detroit Lions team at their place. And we go in there and get the win. And guess what, Mark? I don't know if you saw this go final for a score, but the Panthers take down the Packers in Green Bay 16-13, and the Packers dropped to 5-2.
Wow, that's good news for both of those.
Absolutely,
very excited for both of those.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us on X or YouTube and you got questions or comments for us, make sure that you're sending them on X or YouTube for us, and Mark and I will go ahead and answer those. We do have Ryan that's going to be joining us as well, Mark. He should be jumping on here shortly with us as well. So, man, I just can't be any happier with the performance that we put on today. And man, JJ McCarthy, I want to start there. I want to wait for Ryan to jump on here. He should be on here shortly. But just an amazing performance that this team was able to show, the resilience of just everything that has been kind of staring them the last few weeks, as far as just really we've been a dysfunctional team. We have. And you go out there and you get an upset in Detroit. I shouldn't say nobody. Ryan's going to say that he predicted the Vikings to win. But for the most part, nobody saw this coming. We didn't have a very good chance to win this ball game in Detroit, just with everything that we were facing. We weren't for sure if we were going to see Christian Darrisaw, on a limited snap count. And just, we did a good job today. We did. So we went in there, we did what we needed to do to come out there and get a victory. One thing, and actually, I think a couple of these guys, possibly Mark, but I got 3 buddies right now that are at this game in Detroit. I was trying to have them come on live at the stadium, kind of celebrate with us, but it's really crappy reception there in Detroit. But I do want to give them a shout out. They did send me a picture, and one of them, he moved to Detroit, which they're staying at his place. So now he became a Lions fan. He jumped on the bandwagon, which, my buddies are giving him a lot of crap for, of course.
Absolutely.
But they're definitely celebrating, except for my buddy on the right, Sean. He's probably, even though he's still smiling, he takes the L at Detroit as he's hosting 2 of my other friends that are Vikings fans there for the game. So,
is that a Jared Allen jersey in the middle?
It is.
Right, because that's what I wore last night, and that's what I wore to the Browns game in London that we won. So,
yep, from left to right, just a shout out to those guys. My buddy Carlos, in the middle, Jake, and then still a friend, even though he's a Lions fan, bandwagon jumper, Sean, on the very far right. So shout out to those guys. Having a blast. I wish I could be there with them today. I was asked to attend a little bit late to that one, but I wish I could have been there with them. But then I wouldn't possibly be able to be here with you today. So just super excited. I do want to go down while we're waiting for Ryan. Just capture some of the scores that we're seeing from around the league. It's not over yet. The Bears are up on the Bengals 41-35, but the Bengals are driving right now. And I think they just got into the end zone with the 2-point conversion. There's a minute 43 left in that ball game. Let me just get to this here real quick. I want to say that Joe Flacco just threw a touchdown to Noah Fant.
Wow.
Okay, they get the 2-point conversion to T. Higgins. And again, this game is probably over. It's only a minute 43 left. And it doesn't look like Cincinnati has any timeouts. So they're going to have to try to do an onside kick here, which really, with this new format, hasn't been too successful. So it looks like the Chicago Bears are going to come away with a win to go to 5-3 after a win in Cincinnati. What else we got? Broncos and Texans are tied up 15-15 right now. Games that finished, surprisingly, the Steelers at home take down the Colts. The Colts have, been a really good team all year long, but a good game from the Steelers at home. Like I already mentioned, the Panthers take down the Packers, which is always a good sight to see, especially in Green Bay. Bryce Young getting the win. It's not like he played great, but Rico Dowdle has 130 yards rushing in this game for 2 touchdowns. Fantasy owners of Rico Dowdle love that. And then the Chargers take down the Titans 27-20. And this looked like a game where actually the Titans looked like they had a shot to win. But the Chargers come back, take the lead, and win that game. Patriots take down the Falcons at the end, 24-23. And then the 49ers beat the Giants, which at New York, but 34-24. Christian McCaffrey has a huge game with 106 yards and a touchdown. Plus, he had a receiving touchdown as well with 67 yards receiving. So, monster game from him as well. Just taking a look, I do see Ryan has now joined us. Ryan, welcome to the show.
What's going on?
Just celebrating over here. I mean, I'm talking about some different scores in the league and around the league. The Packers got taken down by the Panthers, which is huge. Yes,
Great
the
to see.
Bears get a win, but we take down Detroit. All right, I said it on the podcast.
The Bears won? They didn't win yet.
Not yet. Minute 43, Cincinnati doesn't have any timeouts. Unless they get an onside kick, it looks like they're going to get the win there.
But it's okay. They just scored?
Yes. Yep. So
it looks like it's second. All right. What I'm seeing is it's 2nd and 10 for Cincinnati. Joe Flacco, they have the ball with a minute 42 left, down 6.
They must have got an onside kick then.
Yeah, because
they must have got the onside kick. We had just talked about that before you got there, that they're going to have to kick an onside kick.
Yeah,
they must have got an onside kick.
Yeah, my ESPN ticker has a 119 left with 1st and 10. The Bengals 1st and 10 at the 22.
That's great.
So it's not over yet.
Yeah,
we're fighting Joe Flacco's. Let's go, boys.
So, if this is true, it looks like they have a 119 left. Is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well.
At the Chicago 45 right now.
Let's go.
I got them at the 22.
What happened? Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what happened.
Yeah,
Evan McPherson onside kick, and Cincinnati recovered. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So the Minnesota Vikings, we get back to 500. So we're 4-4. I said this on X, and I said, mark my words, if we win this game, we find a way to win this game, we are buyers at the trade deadline come Tuesday. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Go ahead.
I mean, for sure, at this point, it's not like the team's going to stop believing. They're playing, the toughest part of their schedule right now. So I believe next week is the Ravens. And then, you still got to play the Packers twice. You got the Lions another time. I mean, there's tough games. Seahawks. Everybody looks pretty good. So I do believe what just happened. What happened?
So I can't tell if this is an old play. Sorry. Keep going. I think this might.
So I mean, at this
alert.
point, though, like if you can get, especially in the NFC, even getting a wild card, I think it's so competitive in the NFC that you have a chance to make a run if the team is healthy and gets hot. So yeah, 100%, I believe that they're going to be buyers.
Gotcha. Just real quick, so Joe Flacco, 23-yard pass to T. Higgins.
Oh boy!
So they're at the Chicago 7 now.
I got second and goal on mine. And
Yeah.
I just watched the Broncos kick a last-minute field goal.
Yeah, I just saw that too. Will Lutz.
So don't mean to be breaking news, but some breaking news.
All right. So as we're just kind of watching this Bears game as well too, I'd like to see now I don't know. Blake Brandell played good today. Maybe center's not what we need, but corner, I would like to see us go get a corner.
Yeah, we need depth there. I also would love to see, it sounds crazy because of the money we spent in the offseason, but if we can get, I know Christian Wilkins is a weirdo, but, maybe if he can bring another level of firepower to the interior
is he
defensive
still a free
line.
agent?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to take a look, right?
Well, it sounds like he'll take a look at you in the shower, but.
Since he touchdown.
Whoa.
What?
Since he touchdown.
Shut up.
Get out.
Flacco to.
He did. Flacco. Yeah. He's the boss.
Yep. No touchdown. Way.
It's 42-41.
Your Shivas.
They're about to. Yeah. I'm sure they're probably going for 2 here.
No, they went for 1.
Why would they go for 2?
Doesn't matter. Because they were tied. I feel whether you get 1 or 2, because they're at 42-41.
Okay. It hasn't updated on my side. Yeah, it hasn't updated on my side. All right, sorry about that.
I get a faster.
Did they leave Caleb too much time?
Yeah, 54 seconds. All they need is a field goal.
Yeah.
Do they have timeouts? I assume they do.
They have 1 timeout left.
All right. Anyway,
so
this game was awesome, huh? I mean, the pressure that we got on the quarterback today was amazing.
It was.
Pressure up the middle. It's the worst pressure. Goff has a kryptonite, and that's pressure in his face.
Yeah. It was nice to see Hargrave finally get in there and make some noise.
Hargrave, the 2 linebackers on their stunts were just a nightmare for their guards and center.
So there are a lot of things that we can address with this game, but we had 5 sacks, and we were having great success with pressure up the middle. We get a sack from Hargrave. We get 2 sacks from Eric Wilson. Jalen Redmond was big, and then Levi Drake Rodriguez as well with the sack. Now, they had 5 sacks on us as well, but where we have not been succeeding. Now, I'm still frustrated about this. We have not been succeeding is getting to the quarterback and getting sacks. Now, I'm still ticked off. And, Ryan, I know you didn't catch this part, but we talked about this, Mark, in the pregame, that I don't know what's going on with Jonathan Grenard. He can get in the backfield, and it's like he's got grease on his hands, and we saw it again today. He's trying to tackle up high on Jared Goff, and he just ducks down.
Yeah, it's crazy. It happened twice. That luckily the cavalry was there to clean up the first one, and then it happened again with Goff, and that turned into a first down or a good positive play, at least, that had no business.
The one that he went ducked underneath, he missed, and then we missed on Montgomery, but then we ended up Cashman punched the ball out. So then it was like, okay, I'm glad he didn't get the sack.
Wait, was that the same play? I didn't think that was the same play.
No,
they scored a touchdown on that drive.
Okay, then I was thinking of a different one, but same one where Goff slipped underneath Grenard, and they made a positive play that should have been
Murphy trying to tackle David Montgomery is tough. That's understandable. But.
And we can't just make it easy. Of course, Isaiah Rodgers did get burned there at the end by Jameson Williams, and that opened up the opportunity for a chance for them to do something there. I did see some comments from some people that were had something to say about Jalen Naylor, but obviously he comes up clutch with that catch towards the end of the game. But I thought he's actually played a really good game. A really good season so far. Yes, there was concerns in the offseason, but as a wide receiver 3, I thought he played well.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how much more you expect out of a wide receiver 3. I mean, he's been solid this year. I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
The catch that was a little behind him, if that's ruled a catch, I don't think they overturn it that way either.
Yeah.
It was so close. So, and again, and if McCarthy lays that ball out in front of him a little better, then he easily runs for.
So you made mention of that, thrown behind. So did McCarthy? So this is a question. This is a serious question. Did McCarthy play a great game, good game, or an okay game? What letter grade do we give him for a 14 of 25, only 143 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and 12 yards on the ground with a rushing touchdown? Mm-hmm. What grade do we give him with his first game back?
I would say a B, just an even B, not a B minus, not a B plus, just a B. He definitely missed some throws, but there were drops too. I mean, there were a couple drops. So
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to say accuracy is an issue because I think he's hitting his spot. I just don't think he's hitting the right spot. Does that make sense?
That could be, yeah.
Like on that Naylor throw, I think he threw it where he wanted to throw it because he threw the fastball, but he needed to lead him more. That's all it was.
These passes that he's having where he's throwing behind though. I mean, if you're throwing the fastball, you think that's going to be ahead of your guy, not behind. Yeah. And just, if he hits, if he leads the receiver a little bit more, I mean, this is a way better game for him and possibly a bigger win than what it was by 3. There's definitely room for improvement is basically what I'm getting at. I would probably B minus, C plus is kind of where I'm at.
That's fair too.
Mark?
Maybe I'm a little too nice, but I'm going B plus because it was his 3rd game in Detroit against a good defense and a loud crowd. If that's in Minnesota and he played like that, I might go towards that B minus, C plus range. So I guess I'll be a little nicer. Bears touchdown.
No way.
Did they? Oh, they did.
Loveland
58.
Oh my
god. I mean, I did tell you I liked a little bit of Loveland this week for the Fantasy 15, Ryan, but I would have rather been wrong. I would have liked to have rather been wrong.
That's his 2nd touchdown today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's okay. I had the Bears in a parlay on my betting, so
damn.
Well, I mean, we almost got a clean sweep.
Almost.
But yes, so the Bears get the win. They get to 5 wins as well. But, with between the Lions, the Packers, we're only a game back in the win column from all these teams. After getting this win in Detroit, do you think this makes us or puts us, should we be back in the mindset of we're a contender? Because I believe we're buyers. Now, if we can go into Detroit and get a win, yes, we got a tough schedule. But I don't think, if we're healthy, I don't think that there's any reason why we can't beat any other team in the league if we can go into Detroit and get a win.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I think we definitely have that momentum, and it was just a matter of, we were a 14-3 team last year. Yeah, there was a lot of luck and different things with the ball bouncing the right way. But we got healthy, and the things that we knew were wrong with the last 2 games of the year last year of the interior of the offensive line, they went in and proved that. I think that those improvements are going to be there. I think we can make a run. I don't think we'll win the division, but I think we can at least make some noise and see where we land.
Yeah. Zach on X says W Vikings. He also says JJ McCarthy just needed the line. That's how you get the run game going, and JJ will make the throws he need to. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did have a better run game, and what a run game we had, at least from Aaron Jones today. He was 9 carries for 78 yards, but he did come off the field a little bit hobbled, and that is a concern. So the rest of the running though, Jordan Mason was only 36 yards off of 10 carries, but Aaron Jones had a really good running day. That run from Jordan Addison was great today for that 16 yards. That was huge. But overall, I mean, I think we did get the running game going, and that did help us be a lot more balanced. We threw for, I mean, you can't be much more balanced than 143 yards passing and 142 yards rushing. Now, I'd like to see us have more passing yards, but we were definitely balanced today in this win.
Yeah, he did make some pretty clutch throws, though. I will say that. I do appreciate the commitment to the run game and really control the clock. That was a huge issue in the Chargers game, especially where we had 0 time of possession. It was crazy. So to see them actually take control of the clock, and it was the most team win that they've had all year, with the special teams, big returns, field goal block, defense stepping up, the sacks, the pressures, and then the offense taking care of the football. One turnover that was even still questionable. Other than that, JJ held onto the ball well. They took care of the football, and that's the recipe to beat the Lions.
Add in that nice block field goal. You're winning all 3
Elijah
sides.
Williams, right?
Yeah.
Elijah Williams. It comes up with that block. Isaiah Williams almost takes that one to the house.
Rodgers.
Oh, sorry.
Rogers. I didn't know Jake Bates was so fast.
Right.
I mean, that was crazy. I can't believe. I know he had pursuit angle on him, but I'm like, there's no way Jake Bates is fast enough to even hit a pursuit angle on Isaiah Rodgers. But sure enough, I mean, they're going to give him a hard time in the locker room for that one. You can't get squeezed by a kicker. Come on.
Back when we played, that was a case of beer.
Yeah.
Now we did talk about some other things that we needed to do in order for us to be successful, and I thought we did do that for the most part against the run of the Lions. That was one of the concerns that we had coming into this game. David Montgomery, he did get a touchdown, but he only had 40 yards on the ground. Jahmyr Gibbs only had 25 yards on the ground. We held him to 65 yards rushing, and to me, that is a huge win for our defense to be able to do that. What are your guys' thoughts there?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, here's the deal. If I pick a running back in our fantasy 15, then I know they're going to have a bad week. So I'm just going to pick divisional running backs, and then I know they're going to have a bad week. And hey, I've never been so happy to see Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery have a bad week. And I'm shocking because the Vikings haven't been all that stout against the run this season. But man, the Lions, they couldn't get much going on the ground at all. And kudos to Brian Flores for making the adjustments after the Chargers were able to run it down our throat last week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was key for me. That was almost one of those keys to the game before. It's like you got to keep those guys in check. It's tough to make. Goff can beat you, but if they're getting both going, then it's hard to guess. So I was very happy to see them really keep both running backs in check.
65 total yards on the ground they had, and Goff was 25 of 37 for 284. So they made Goff throw the ball 37 times. He only completed 25, which is, for Jared Goff and the Lions offense, an inefficient game.
Yeah.
And it was weird. He's a lot of balls in the dirt.
Yes. And I think a lot of that was that inside pressure. He couldn't step into it.
100%. So
he was short arming it because he couldn't follow through. I was noticing that on a couple of them right away. I was like, all right, we got that guy in front of him. He can't follow through.
Hey, the Chiefs won 2 Super Bowls by getting pressure up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize. I'm just doing a couple of quick updates. I would be remiss. We have not got to it yet, but I do want to make sure that we recognize our sponsors. The very first one I want to get to is our SeatGeek. sponsorship. Again, use code Vikings Central if you want to get $20 off any $50 or more purchase. If you're going to the Ravens game next week, use SeatGeek, get $20 off your $50 ticket. That's good for any games, events, concerts that you want to go to. So go check that out and use that code Vikings Central. All right, the next topic I kind of want to get to was our kick return game. Miles Price gets robbed again. Now, he did have one really good return that we didn't have a penalty on, and that was fantastic. But again, Miles Price shows out, does his job, looks. I think we need to extend him before the season's over, and lock the guy up. He's been good all season long, but he takes one to the house. And again, we have another holding penalty, and we constantly are doing this and seeing this on special teams. And I don't know how we're not addressing this and getting this issue fixed, because it's definitely hurting the team. He's constantly putting us in good field position.
Yeah. Well, that was a ticky-tack call.
Sure, that was back-to-back Tavier Thomas penalties that cost the team there.
Oh yeah, the second one, you mean, when he didn't get back in bounds?
Yep. Yeah, back to back.
Yeah, special teams, they got to clean up those little issues. But again, like, I don't know, man. Like, they're calling that holding on a ton of these. Like, it's all over the league. The officials this year are just, I mean, hey, we benefited off a couple calls today. I'll say that too. I mean, overall, it was just a pretty crazy officiated game, but yeah, that sucks. And you got to know, like, hey, just put your hands up, just give them the old I'm not holding, I promise.
Now, before we get into this, so this could be controversial here, but I want to get into our badass player of the game. So when I think about this, and so our badass player of the game is sponsored by That's Badass Wood Art. So before I get into that, make sure you're using code VC15 to receive 15% off on all purchases. And fantastic art by Luis with That's Badass Wood Art. So before we get into it, let's play that ad. So like I said, we could have went a couple different ways with this. And his first game back, I thought, like Ryan said, made some key throws. He gets 3 touchdowns today. Our badass player of the game today is none other than JJ McCarthy. 14-25 for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 rushing touchdown. One could argue, Miles Price has that kickoff return touchdown. Maybe it's him. Another, you could argue it's the Vikings defense for coming up big against this Detroit Lions offense and really getting 5 sacks on Goff, really kind of shutting down the run game. And for a majority of the game, they were shutting down big plays from this Lions offense as well too. So this could easily be going to the defense.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem giving it to JJ McCarthy, just coming back off the injury and stepping up on the road, hostile environment against one of the league's best teams and showing out and doing everything you need to do to win, delivering in the fourth quarter with the game on the line with a clutch throw where only his receiver was going to catch it. So no, I have no problem with that. If I were to pick someone else, it'd probably be Eric Wilson with 2 sacks and 3 TFLs. Because he had an insane game. So, but I have no problem giving it to JJ.
I agree. I like JJ. I mean, even at the end of the game there, when they had the busted play where he turned the wrong way or the running back went the wrong way.
It's definitely the running back.
Right. It was right. But either way, he went up and we're like, all right. And he went and got 4 or 5 yards, make it a shorter play. And so instead of just falling down, and that touchdown run was something you wouldn't see Carson Wentz do. So I like him as a badass player of the game.
Or even falling on that snap that came up and hit him in the chest. Like little things like that where you're protecting the ball go so far. There were a few times that he was doing that, or even if he knew he was about to take a sack, like he would not scramble backwards and make it worse than it was going to be. He didn't try to force too many balls that had a chance of getting intercepted. And he didn't, and he held on to the ball when he was running, or if he got hit, and there's no fumbles. So that alone, like, that's what you need out of him right now as a second-year starter who's just started his third game. You want to see that kind of play, and the big plays and the whole shots, which he took a couple of that wasn't able to really complete today. Those will come for sure. But in the meantime, you just got to protect the football.
So again, JJ McCarthy, congratulations to you. You are our badass player of the game. That's Badass Wood Art. Make sure you're using code VC15 for 15% at checkout. Again, congrats, JJ. All right. Some other things that maybe you guys want to talk about from this game.
Actually, I'm going to go back to JJ for a minute, because on our conversation last night, we were talking about, you had brought up that JJ running, and he wasn't keeping his eyes downfield.
Yeah.
Did you notice how many times he was right there and he kept looking downfield instead of just tucking it and run?
I made a comment on X about that too. He did a way better job doing that. Instead of just committing to the run, he at least kept it open for options, and he was scanning the field to try to look for open receivers.
That was the one throw back across his body. Like, okay, he caught it.
Yep. So much better job in doing that. Props. That was one of the things we mentioned in the pregame show, and we got to see that. So coming into this game, Mark, you and I talked about in the pregame show, basically we wanted to see some of those things that we weren't seeing when we broke down film from the Falcons game. What were those things that JJ wasn't doing prior that we wanted to see him maybe correct in this game versus the Lions? And I think we did see some of that in this game. I think accuracy is still maybe something that he needs to work on. Obviously some of those throws behind the receiver, we want to see you lead the receiver. But he did make some progress here. Absolutely.
I mean, we got this is a really good Lions defense too. I know they were a little hobbled in the secondary, but at the same time, you have incredible edge rushers. You got Derek Barnes, you got Aiden Hutchinson, and then you have probably the best linebacker combo in the NFL with Anzalone and Jack Campbell, and then I know cheap shot Kirby Joseph wasn't playing, but Brian Branch is one of the best safeties in the NFL. So that's a tough defense to go against, and yeah, he really held his own and kept composure throughout the game, which is super impressive. So, for everything we talked after that Falcons game, you have to give him his credit for this game. He played well against a really tough team on the road, hostile environment. It's not easy to do.
Mark, you got a fan out there, John from Dispin Adventures on YouTube says, "Hi, Mark." So you got at least one fan out there that knows you and wanted to say hi.
I brought one viewer in.
And one other thing, real quick.
Yeah.
I know each quarterback, there's 5 sacks, right? And what I was alluding to when it came to his sacks was, yes, he took a couple sacks, but sacks aren't always the end of the world if you're giving up a 5-yard sack or even a 6-yard sack. His sacks were 5 for 27 yards. Goff, 5 for 44 yards. Wow. That's a big difference on those bigger dropbacks. And Goff has given up 44 yards on those 5 sacks. That's huge. That's a massive difference throughout the course of the game.
Now you had mentioned on defense, Eric Wilson having a tremendous game, which he did. He had 6 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 tackles for loss. That was huge. But Blake Cashman, not really mentioned much on the broadcast, but he had 14 tackles in this game. Next closest tackler was 8. He had a TFL in there as well too, but he made 6 solo tackles himself. I thought his presence was felt throughout the game. Especially with as many linebacker blitzes up the middle and bringing the pressure all game. We're facing a Detroit Lions team with Jared Goff, who's a very accurate quarterback, still threw for 284 yards and 2 touchdowns. but he had weapons like Sam Laporta, who's great at finding those gaps in the zone defense. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams is that deep threat. I mean, and of course, you got Sonic and Knuckles. They have all these offensive weapons, and this defense absolutely stepped up today. You can look at the scoreboard and say 24 points. To keep the Detroit Lions at 24 points is one hell of an accomplishment.
Huge. Huge. Yeah. Blake Cashman is, you see the difference even in the weeks he's been back, like how much more organized the defense is, how much more ready they are to play. And I kind of, I do think that Chargers game, and I kind of said it, but I don't think the Vikings were taking it all that serious, as crazy as that is to say. They were kind of using it to kind of extend bye week, get guys healthy. I noticed their game plan. They didn't really show much. They were being real careful not to, I think they kind of went into it like sometimes you got to just throw your best base out there and see what happens. And if you get worked, then you get worked. But I think they knew Carson Wentz was out there on one arm. And, I'm just saying, I don't think they put forth their best effort to try to win that game. And by any means, I think they had other things in mind that were probably more important to them at the time.
Sure.
Yeah,
so this game we kind of talked about it, even though it wasn't one of the keys of the game. We talked about it. If it was a sixth key of the game, we talked about it. Mark, turnovers being a thing. We did not lose the turnover battle. We did have an interception with that pass behind that was maybe controversial as far as whether or not it was an interception by the Lions. And then, of course, what a great punch out. For us to get that Detroit fumble on David Montgomery. That was a huge run by Montgomery, and then we get the punch out, and Harrison Smith recovers the ball. That was just a gigantic play for us in the game, and that really kind of turned some of the momentum. I want to say, gosh, I'm trying to think of now. I can't think of who punched that ball out off the top of my head. Cashman. Yeah, Blake Cashman. So even that, I didn't mention, Blake Cashman, that's a huge play to make in the game to get the Vikings the ball back and take away a scoring opportunity from them. So, we definitely had some things go our way in that sense. We did still have, a weird thing, whenever these controversial 50-50 calls come up, whether it be the interception or whether it be the Justin Jefferson, is it a catch? Thing in today's game. Can we get one of those to go our way?
Yeah.
Just one.
That was wild. I can't believe they actually reviewed that Jefferson catch and then said it was not a catch.
I didn't see anything in there, but
there's no way. Like the catches that they've given,
I thought he had possession this season before it hit the ground, and
that one was wild. The thing that pissed me off about the interception was that it took them 5 minutes to make a call. Then they finally made a call ruling an interception. Had they just ruled it a catch, the catch on the field was stood. But I understand they ruled it an interception just so that it would have to get reviewed. And then the review indicated you can't really turn it over, which I agree. I think whatever call you made on that was going to stand no matter what. So, whatever.
Yeah, no, it just, so we had some people on Twitter too, and I don't know if it was, a Vikings fan, Lions fan, whatever, anti-Vikings fan, people making the calls on this. So the rule is it can hit the ground. You just have to have possession, and it can't be aided by the ground. And
right.
So, I don't know how we keep being on the wrong side of these, but hopefully we get at least one of these to go our way in the future. Luckily, that wasn't something that decided the game for us, and just can't be happier. So again, 27-24, we get the win. We're 4-4. We're probably going to be buyers now, and I'm glad that we didn't make any snap decisions before this Lions game.
Yeah,
because now I think at least our perception of what this team could be yet this season in supporting JJ McCarthy. I think that is, at least, maybe it isn't for the team, but it definitely is, I think, for the fan base now going into the trade deadline, that, hey, let's go get a cornerback and let's keep our core pieces together that are going to help JJ McCarthy and this team be successful.
Yeah. Agreed.
Before we get into our maybe final thoughts and any final comments we have out there, I do want to give a shout out to our other sponsor that we have, and that is Homage. And we do have, and I'm going to just change the view here, top of your screen. You can see that homage.sjv.io/Vikings. One of the ways that you guys can support us. I'm actually, I was sporting it because I was hoping it was going to happen. And Ryan, it did happen today. JJ to JJ. So JJ to Jettas. But again, this is a Homage shirt here. Great looking shirts, comfortable. Go ahead and check them out. Where legendary comfort. So again, Homage Legendary Comfort is on deck. Go ahead and check out that website link that we have so you can also support us for everything that we're doing out here, putting out the Vikings coverage. Don't forget to read our Substack as well and follow us on X, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. And before we face the Ravens next week, and again, we're going to have a pregame show next week, but any final thoughts that you guys have this week? Mark, I'm going to let you go ahead and start it off.
First, just recapping, man, it was nice to see them go out and play hard and in Detroit to do that. And if they can do that against the Ravens, even though the Ravens are good, I think they got a shot. I think they got a shot in every game if they play like they did today.
Yeah, I think all the talk about Kevin O'Connell and there's a bunch of noise about him as a coach. I think today proved everything that you need for him to see with the team after the game that they played against the Chargers, to come back and believe wholeheartedly in the game plan and believe in what the coach is preaching, and then come out and take it to one of the league's best teams like that. I don't want to hear any BS about O'Connell this week, I swear.
And we got to give props to Ryan, who is the only one here out of the three of us that took the Vikings to win this game. Your prediction was 31-30, I think.
I think it was 32-31 or something like that.
31. But regardless, hey, you get it right. And
you guys had them losing by 3 touchdowns.
We did.
Yeah.
So again, like I said, I'm happier than heck to be wrong.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Absolutely, every day. So again, thanks to everyone online that's watching. Please make sure that you check out, follow us, subscribe if you can, and we're going to keep putting out everything purple as far as articles and all that information for you guys online and social media. So join us again during the week and our pregame show next week before we take on the Baltimore Ravens. So for Vikings Central, I'm Steve, that's Mark, and that's Ryan. Skol Vikings, we get the win 27-24. Skol Vikings.
Skol.
Have a great one.